Hi guys, it's Rachel. So today I'm going to film a video that has been highly requested, and that is my skincare routine. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of background, my skin is definitely acne prone. I do suffer from oiliness, especially in my T-zone. However, instead of being like combination like oily to normal skin, I also have combination, I guess, skin that's oily and then in some parts it's dry, and that is definitely a problem that I suffer from when I am trying to pick the right cleansers and other skincare products that I need, because I do have parts of my skin that can get quite dry, and then I also am acne prone and have very oily skin as well. So my skin is certainly not perfect by any means. I have pigmentation problems from like hyperpigmentation from acne. I also have acne scarring. I have a little bit of chickenpox scarring. I still suffer from pimples regularly. Like, I only have a few, but I always have something. So my skin is by no means perfect. I always wear foundation and stuff like that generally to cover up any of the imperfections, which is why it probably looks nicer on camera than it does in real life. But anyway, I'm going to go through the products, I guess, in a step-by-step-ish kind of basis. I change my skincare routine regularly, as in like every day is never the exact same for me. I have a couple of products that I swap in and I swap out depending on how my skin is. If I'm having extra pimples, or if my skin is relatively clear, or if I'm having extra oiliness, like especially in summer, or if I've got dry patches because I've been treating pimples and they've gone but it's made my skin dry. So I change my skincare sort of every single day, but I'll show you the products that I generally use. I also think it is good to change things up because your skin can become immune to certain products. And the other thing I want to say is too is that if you are trying a new skincare routine, you should really give it 6 weeks before you sort of definitely decide whether it's working or if it's not working, because that's how long it generally takes for your skin to go through its cycle and repair itself and know whether what you're using is making a difference. The other thing I want to say is that I have used Proactive before, and I know a lot of people generally have questions on that, so I won't go into that because that's not exactly what I'm using now, but I have used it before and I have used it for a long time. So if you have any questions on that, let me know in the comments below and I'll try and answer your specific questions, or I can do a separate video on specific like acne based treatments that I have used before, like skincare treatments in the past. Okay, so let's jump into it. So for me, step 1 is generally removing my makeup. So at night, to remove my makeup, I will use facial towelettes. I've got here the Johnson's face care ones and also the Yes to Cucumbers ones. I like them both. I will do this before I hop in the shower. I just wipe them on my face. I use it to get rid of some of my, well, it doesn't get rid of all my makeup, but it definitely gets off a lot of it, and it'll get off a lot of my eye makeup as well. The other thing that I have used before, and I do use sometimes when I'm removing my eye makeup, is the Purfying. The Laura Mercier Flawless Skin Purifying Oil in Light. So it's a cleansing oil, and it looks like this, and I know a lot of people get scared if they have oily skin to use an oil, but it's not the same as like the oil in your skin. I do a couple of pumps of this and I sort of wipe it all over my dry skin, and then once you add water it turns into like a milky consistency. You can use this just as a cleanser, and I have done that before generally, but for me, if I'm using this as a cleanser, I cleanse with this and then I cleanse with something else afterwards. But I do really like this. However, it is really expensive, so I don't use it all the time. But it definitely leaves your skin soft and clean, and it does get all the makeup off. So that is the other thing that I'll use for makeup. If I'm having particularly stubborn makeup, I will use like a makeup remover, but the cleansing towelettes is generally the first step at night. In the morning, this may be the only thing that I use. In summertime, I will, as we get closer to summer, I will use like a cream, like an actual cleanser in the morning, but in winter, I will generally use at least this. I like to at least cleanse like with something in the morning, even if it's just a facial towelette, just to get rid of any of the oils and things that have built up over at night, and also to remove any products that I put on my face at nighttime also. So that is step 1 for me. Step 2 is to cleanse. So like I said, I always cleanse my face fully at night. Sometimes I do it twice. For me, I often use goat's milk soap, and I've talked about this before, and I don't have a brand new one. I've just got like an old one that I'm currently using at the moment. It just looks like normal soap, but it's made with goat's milk, and it's less harsh on your skin, and it's more moisturizing. I was actually recommended to use goat's milk soap by my doctor. He suggested it because it's chemical free, you can get organic, like natural ones, and it just gives your skin a break. My skin was going crazy and I was putting all these chemicals and things on them in different cleansers, and sometimes your skin just needs to just be cleansed. Like, you can treat your skin outside of the cleansing process, but just to cleanse, this is really nice. So I do use that. When I am looking for something slightly different, I also use sometimes I will do this and then I'll do one of these, or sometimes I'll do just this, or sometimes I'll just use just the goat's milk. It depends on how my skin is feeling. If I don't feel it's clean enough, then I may want to use something, or if I want to treat something. So this is the Bliss Clog Dissolving Cleansing Milk, and I got this from Mercier. It was $45, so it's kind of expensive. It's a spa brand, and Bliss is actually created by the same lady who created Soap and Glory. So it's really, really nice. You can actually use this as a mask as well, so you just put it on your skin and leave it for 5 minutes. So it's got gentle enzyme exfoliants in it, so it's not gritty at all. It's like a cream. So I use this. It leaves your skin really nice, really soft. If you don't have sort of acne problems, but you do struggle with dry skin, and cleansers can leave your skin feeling really tight, I do recommend this one because it doesn't leave anything like that. It's really nice and moisturizing. The other cleanser that I will use if I am suffering from a particularly bad breakout or I want to treat my pimples is the Skinstitute Glycolic Cleanser 12%. It looks like this. You can get it in Australia, you can get it online, and you can also get it in a lot of different like beauty therapist places. I actually saw it in a nail place the other day. It is an available brand, so look online and you'll be able to find a stockist near you. But it actually is an Australian brand. It's made in Australia, and this I use to treat pimples. So if you have acne prone skin, then I would recommend this cleanser for you because it actually has the glycolic acid in it to help cleanse your skin. Then the last thing I'm going to say about cleansers is that another one that I just would recommend if you just want something to clean your skin that's not too expensive is the Nutrogena Oil-Free Acne Wash. I have used this before and I really like it. I either use the wash or the scrub. Either one is really nice. It smells really nice and it is cheap and conveniently found at the drugstore. So if you're looking for just something, especially if you're young and you're just sort of don't have a lot of money to spend, but you know that you need to start using a cleanser because you're kind of experiencing problems or starting to experience problems with your skin, I do recommend this one. Now, as like a little side note, when I'm using pretty much any of those cleansers, I will use my Clarisonic. I got a Clarisonic over a year ago now at Beauty Expo, so it was last year in I think August. This is the Clarisonic Pro, and I've got this. I was lucky enough to pay, I think I paid about $220 at Beauty Expo. It was just launching in Australia, and that's why. Unfortunately now the Clarisonics are like $400 in Maya, so it is quite pricey. I would recommend getting the Clarisonic Mia if you can. I think they sell in Australia for about $198 and they work just as well. I highly recommend this. I absolutely love it. I think it makes all my cleansers better. It cleans my skin. It helps exfoliate my skin. It's, so many people have said this, but it's like a toothbrush, one of those electric toothbrushes for your skin. You turn it on and this whole thing here vibrates and spins around, and you just do it all over your face for a minute with any of your cleansers, and it works really, really well. I use the normal skin head on it, and I can't say enough good things. I do recommend them. I do think they work really well. However, I do know that they're pricey, and there are other alternatives, other brands out there. I think Sonic is one of them that is cheaper, so I would recommend checking out that or buying the Clarisonic Mia, because even though it's smaller, it works the same and it's definitely cheaper, but I use that. So the next step, we can call it 2.5, I guess, or 2.5, because I don't do this every single day, but when I want to give my skin a deeper clean, if I want to exfoliate a little bit more, I use the Clean and Clear Deep Action in Shower Facial, and I'll use this 2 or 3 times a week. I love this. I've shown this in numerous favorites videos before. It cleans your skin. You put it on for a minute in the shower, and it works with the steam in your shower, and then you scrub it and it's got like little exfoliants in it. My skin comes out feeling ridiculously smooth after I use this, so I really, really like that. Then once I am out of the shower, step number 3 is to tone. Sometimes I skip this step because I'm bad like that, but a toner is good. I was using the Proactive toner because I always had a lot of extra of that. At the moment I'm using the Bliss Daily Detoxifying Facial Toner. This is an alcohol-free formula which I really like. And it looks like this. This was also from Maya and it is $45 as well, so it is kind of expensive. I would recommend checking out some drugstore toners if you can't spend the money on it, because toner, to me, you don't necessarily have to spend a whole heap of money for it to still work quite well. But I just put a few pumps of this onto a little cotton pad like this and wipe over my face. I do think that it is worth it because it definitely gets off any lasting grime, any really hard to reach stuff that didn't come off with your cleansing. I always make sure I do it like sort of around my neck and the back of my ears and all along my hairline and stuff. That sometimes gets missed, and I do it over my nose. I obviously do it all over my face, but even after I've cleansed, sometimes I will still find that this has got a little bit of dirt on it, so it's definitely a worthwhile step. And if you're experiencing acne, I do recommend making sure that you tone. Then the next step, which is step number 4, is for me acne treatment. So this is mainly, I will do it at night, but sometimes I'll do it in the morning as well. So I have one prescription treatment and one that's non-prescription. So the first thing I'll show you is a non-prescription. This is called Benzac AC. I've got the 2.5% version, but there's also a 5% and a 10%, and that percentage is in relation to benzoyl peroxide, which is a chemical, or it treats acne. This is a water-based acne gel, which is good. I do recommend this. You can get this from your local chemist, pharmacy, drugstore. I use this when I am breaking out. You can put it all over your face, or you can put it on just sort of on areas that are breaking out. It is similar to, this one specifically is probably similar to the Proactive treatment, their third step, because that has, I think, 2.5% benzoyl peroxide in it. The more percentage you get is obviously for skin that's worse off. This, my doctor recommended being better because it has more active ingredients or something in it. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say, I'm not a dermatologist either way, but I do like this, and I'll put this on over my face. It will dry your skin out, so if you only experience acne in certain spots, only put it in the spots where you're sort of getting pimples. And I also recommend that if you're using something like this, to use a moisturizer over the top. If you're using the Proactive skincare line, always have a 4th step, which is the moisturizer, because it will dry your skin out. But that is good for pimples. The other thing I have is this cream called Retrieve. This is a prescription only treatment, and I'll put the name of it in the bottom bar below. So if you are seeing your doctor about acne and you're looking for different treatments, that you could potentially bring up this one if you think that this could be helpful for you. But basically it is a cream that has tretinoin, I can't even pronounce it, but it's something that is used to help with the resurfacing of your skin. It's to help with the acne scarring as well as the actual acne. Some people even have it prescribed for like wrinkles and things like that, because like I said, it helps with the surface of your skin. It is quite strong. There are a lot of dangers with it. You can only put it on night, and it makes your skin hypersensitive to the sun, so you must take it off in the morning, which is why I always at least do something in the morning, because I can't leave this on during the day, because if the sun gets on my skin, it'll affect it. It also is quite strong in that it may cause birth defects. It has got a link to like the tablets that you can take, and I can't think of the name, and you'll know what I'm talking about, the really, really strong tablets that you can take for acne. So you do have to be really, really careful with this, and that's why it's prescription only. But I have found that it's made a massive difference in my skin. It really has helped the texture of it. It's helped with my pimples, and for me it worked really well. So that's that. Okay, and then the other couple of acne treatments that I wanted to talk about that I sometimes use are from the Mario Badescu skincare line. And I have the drying lotion and the buffing lotion. I use this, I'm sure you probably, or some of you may have seen this before, but basically dip a cotton tip in to the bottom, and then you put it on any pimples, like just like a spot treatment, and it leaves like a little pink mark, so you look kind of funny when you go to bed. But it dries the pimple out, and over a night or over a couple of nights the pimple pretty much disappears. So I highly recommend this. Mario Badescu in Australia is sold through Kit Cosmetics. They also have, well, I think ship to Australia online, but it's worth checking out online just to see where you can buy it if you want to try and buy it in person. The buffing lotion is supposed to be used for if you have like it draws impurities out from the skin, so if you have like a blind pimple or something like that, this is supposed to help. It also helps like for a larger area, so if I've got like a few pimples in like somewhere, I'll put it over all of them to help dry it out. I originally went to buy this, and I got this because it was like in a pack. This is my probably third bottle of this. Highly recommend it for anybody who is experiencing pimples. And I actually, even though this was step what did I have to? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is step 5. I was in my thing. Anyway, I'll actually put these on after moisturizer, which is my next step. But the other 2 pimple creams or acne treatments I'll put on beforehand. But anyway, moving on quickly because this video is already going on. The last thing I do generally is to moisturize. No matter how oily your skin is, you should still moisturize, because oil and moisture is not the same thing. I have learnt that. I know that. I honestly truly think that everyone needs to moisturize. It's really important. So the moisturizers I generally will use at night, I use, because I still have some of this, is the Proactive Oil-Free Moisturizer. It is a good oil-free moisturizer. It's very light, so if your skin it is particularly oily, then this one is good. If my skin is feeling extra dry, I will use the Natural Secrets Goat's Milk Moisturizing Cream with vitamin E. So I will use that, and then in the daytime, in the morning, so after I've just cleansed my face or just used the towelettes, I will use the Skin Doctor's Super Moist SPF 30. I've just gotten this recently, but I have started to use this because SPF 30, we are going into summer in Australia, so I feel like I need a little bit of extra SPF, especially because my pimple treatment does make my skin sensitive to the sun. So I have been using this. The other one that I recommend is the Aveeno Positively Radiant just moisturizer. That's what I've used before, and that has SPF I think 15 in it, which is good to have just as some extras quickly. The other thing, that if I am just using a normal moisturizer, or in summer, I will make sure I put on a sunscreen, and the sunscreen I like is the Nutrogena Ultra Sheer Dry Touch Sunscreen Lotion. So I will use this underneath my makeup and usually on my like neck and décolletage and that, because I really am trying to avoid sun damage. I know I do get some, but it is always good to have an extra sunscreen. And then the last product that I use, and I'll use these maybe once a week or once or couple of times a fortnight, is the Biore Deep Cleansing Pore Strips. And I use these as a blackhead cleanser to try and get out of any of like the little blackheads that I may have in my nose or on my forehead or on my chin. So I highly recommend these. They work really well. You can actually see the stuff that comes off them. It's kind of gross, but it also is good because you know that they're working really well. So that is pretty much my entire skincare routine. I'm sorry that this video has gone so long, but I wanted to show you all the different products that I use and try and sort of point out products that you guys might like. Like I said, I don't use these all at the same time, so that's why I've got like half bottles of stuff. You certainly don't need all these different products, but hopefully I've shown you some specific products that you may want to add to your skincare routine or change this or make it suit your particular skin type. If you have any questions on any type of skincare, let me know in the bottom bar below and I'll try and answer them for you. Also, if you'd like to see a video specifically on the different acne treatments that I've used throughout my life, because I have used different types of cleansers, and like I said, I've used Proactive and I've taken antibiotics before and things like that. If you want a short video on that, let me know in the comments below also, and I may be able to do that for you guys also. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye!